Check out pentheblogofficial, like, share, follow, and subscribe. There was once an enormous blue whale that sang the saddest song on planet Earth. It was a song of such powerful sorrow that it made other whales cry. It was the biggest whale anyone had ever seen, and because it was so big, all the other whales kept their distance. They were afraid of it. Other whales would hear it singing and feel its pain, but no one ever approached it. No one ever asked why it was so sad. No one ever offered to help. They didn't understand why it was so big. They didn't know what to do with it, so they just stayed away. As the baby whale continued to purr, the giant whale broke into a big, beautiful smile. It was the biggest, brightest smile the baby whale had ever seen. Ask why your friend is sad. Ask why your family member is crying. Ask why your classmate is angry. Because they might be carrying something you don't know about, some pain or sorrow that's eating away at them. And all they need is for someone to ask why. All they need is for someone to care. And it was at that moment the baby whale understood. It understood why the giant whale was so sad. It was because it had carried its sadness for so long. It was because the giant whale had carried its loneliness for so many years. It wasn't expecting anyone to ever ask it that question, let alone a tiny little baby whale. You see, when we carry our pain and sorrow for too long, it can eat away at us until we're hollowed out inside. But when someone listens to our song, when someone asks why, when someone cares enough to help, the wound inside us begins to heal. But the baby whale insisted, "Please tell me why you're so sad. I want to help." The giant whale hesitated for a moment, then finally spoke. They sang songs of friendship and kindness, songs about how even the biggest, strongest whales need someone to lean on sometimes. And no matter how afraid we are, no matter how much we want to push people away, if we let them in, if we let them help, the wound inside us will begin to heal. It told the baby whale about how it had been shunned its whole life because it was too big. It told the baby whale about how no one had ever wanted to be its friend because it was too big. It told the baby whale about how it felt so lonely and wished it could feel small and insignificant again, like when it was just a baby calf. They would come from miles around to listen to this whale sing its heartbreaking song, because they felt its pain in their bones. They knew it was singing about loneliness, but they didn't know why. You see, this whale was huge. It was nearly 100 feet long and weighed over 200 tons. And so the giant blue whale spent most of its life alone, singing sad songs about how empty and hollow it felt inside. Then one day, a little baby whale swam up to it and said, "Why are you so sad?" The giant whale was taken aback. The baby whale listened patiently to the giant whale's story. When it was done, the baby whale didn't say a word. It just wrapped its tiny body around the giant whale's massive tail and started to purr. The giant whale was taken aback by this, but it didn't try to pull away. Instead, it let the baby whale stay there as it petted its tail. It let the baby whale comfort it, even though it was scared. And after a while, the giant whale started to feel something it hadn't felt in a very long time. Something warm and fuzzy inside its cold, dark heart. But now that someone had listened to its song, now that someone had cared enough to ask why, the giant whale didn't feel so alone anymore. That's why it's important to always ask why. The giant blue whale swam happily through the ocean for the rest of its life, singing joyful songs with the little baby whale by its side. The end.